Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new here. My name is Sarah Jane and I am a PR practitioner living in DC, and I make a lot of content on life in my 30s in DC and books, reading. So if that type of content interests you, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe because it really helps support my channel. It is so nice filming a YouTube video because YouTube has sort of like been my baby and my preferred platform for so many years, and I was filming a lot more TikToks this past week and like trying to get into that rhythm, and it's so nice just to like sit with my Canon G7X, which has been my old but faithful reliable camera, and not try like filming on my phone, which has just kind of been a hot mess. So anyways, I just wanted to say I'm so glad you're here watching this video with me because I love filming on this camera. With that being said, today's video is going to be a April reset. I am just so happy spring is around the corner. I am so ready for warm weather. It has been cold. It has been like a whirlwind of when it comes to the weather. Like we have some warm days and that are really nice and upwards to almost 70 degrees, and then like you have this weekend where it was frigidly cold and we had like really like windy weather, and I did not love it. So I am just so ready for it to be the first day of spring and all that good stuff. And then this weekend, Trey and I spent the weekend at the town where we got married, which was really nice because it's our 1-year anniversary, which is so crazy. I feel like we just got married yesterday, so it's so weird that like we're just now celebrating our 1-year anniversary. Like, where has the time gone? So anywho, I wanted to go ahead though and make this video and just go ahead and say that I'm not sure if there's gonna be a May reset because we have some travel coming up. But before we get into everything, I want to take a minute to thank today's sponsor, which is Merit Beauty. Merit Beauty is a minimalist beauty brand creating products that are safe for the body, skin, and planet. All of Merit's beauties are non-comedogenic, which means they're formulated with ingredients that will not clog your pores. They recently released these new Signature Lip Lightweight Matte Lipsticks. I've used their Signature Lip Lightweight lipsticks before, which are really good. So when they came out with a matte option, I was pretty excited. Here we have Classic and Power, both which are just gorgeous colors. And feel free to check out the link in my bio if you want to make a purchase. I like to start these videos by first reflecting on how the previous month went and then kind of move into the next month. So I have kind of redone the way I'm doing these in the year 2024. In 2023, I had 3 main buckets that I was kind of working with, but I've actually split them up into 5 now. So now I have them in health and wellness, social media, finance, relationships, and home. So starting with health and wellness, my March goal was to have a consistent workout routine. I actually think I am gonna give this to myself because I have found what kind of works for me. I have found that doing home workouts is actually very effective for me, and so I have a tracker now that I use in my iPad that helps me like make sure that I'm reaching my goals. So I did do quite a few arm workouts, not so many leg workouts, but I did go run quite a few times, and I actually think I'm even gonna run later today because it's so beautiful outside. And so I'm gonna give myself that because I think I did do that really well. Next is track sleep. And that was to get 7 hours of sleep each night. And I actually have found that I don't actually get a ton of great sleep. I've actually found that I've hit between the 4 to 6 hour mark way more than I'd like. Like there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times this month where I slept anywhere between 4 to 6 hours, which is not good. Like sleep is so important for your health and like, you know, rehabilitation and restoring your skin cells and just like feeling overall good. So it was good to know because this is my first month actually tracking it. I got the new Apple Watch and this has been really helpful for me in tracking how much sleep I'm getting each night. So knowing that this was my first month tracking it, and I'm glad I did because I did not get really good sleep. So it's been really good for me to think about like, what are my habits before I go to bed? Like, you know, am I, you know, do I need to go to bed earlier? You know, do I need to make sure I'm not looking at my phone? Like these are the things I'm kind of thinking about now before going to bed because I want to make sure that I get really good sleep, because if I don't get good sleep, I am not very effective the next day. So I didn't get that one. The other one was to go ice skating twice a month. I did get this, and I'm actually really proud that I got this because I used to have a friend that would go ice skating with me, and then she got injured, so it's been harder to find time to go by myself because like I'm not used to ice skating by myself. I'm either meeting with my coach or I'm going with my friends. So now it's like, okay, well, I'm having to go on my own time and, you know, work on these skills by myself, and I was able to do it, and I'm really, really proud of that. If you guys didn't know, since I graduated from grad school, ice skating has become my new hobby. I read this thing that like you should have 3 types of hobbies. One that is for like, one that is physical, one that makes you money, and then like I think the other one's you just overall enjoyment. So for me, ice skating is sort of like that physical element that brings me joy. So that's everything with health and wellness. The next one is social media, and my goal was to post 2 times a week. That did not happen. I did actually a lot of work travel this month, and I posted, let's check. I posted only 4 times this month, so I'm essentially averaging 1 video a week. Not great. I'm trying to think of like what happened. I think, yeah, it was just like a lot of work travel. I was going into the office a little bit more, and that just took up a lot more of my time, which made me not really like focus on filming as much. So good to know. So yeah, that didn't happen. All right, third goal was finance, and that was to prioritize myself for purchases. I definitely think I did that. You know, I was thinking about things that I'd really like this month, and I ended up getting, which hasn't come in yet, but I ended up buying a new Bays travel suitcase. They had their 40% off warehouse sale, which worked out really well, and I was able to buy that for myself, which I'm really happy about because my current suitcase, I have the Bays carry-on, but my big suitcases for like international travel, I bought in 2011, and yeah, I've had them for over 10 years. They're super beat up. They're time to retire. They're actually just ugly also. So I'm really glad that I kind of did that for myself. So that was my first kind of big purchase. I was able to get $100 off with that sale. And then my second big purchase was I actually bought the Air Max, the AirPod Maxes, which is like the big headphones from Apple. I wasn't gonna get them, but my AirPod Pros have since died, and I'm back to using the original AirPods, and like those things do not have any noise cancellation, which is fine because if I'm not working out with them, like I don't mind using them to work out. But when I was like traveling, which like I said, I did a lot of travel this month, it was just like a no-go. I could hear them on the airplane, I could hear them on the train, on the metro. It was just actually terrible because then I felt like I was like really raising the volume and like, oh my god, am I deaf? So anyways, I just wanted to invest in a good pair of headphones, and so I decided just to go ahead and get those. I almost got the Sony ones because those were like half the price, but I was like, you know what, let's just do it. So I got those, and I'm really proud. So those are the 2 big purchases that I made for this month, and that did make me feel like I accomplished my goal of prioritizing myself financially. All right, next up was relationships. My goal was to do 6 hours of socialization per week. A little bit of backstory about where this goal came from. So there is this girl on TikTok who specializes professionally in female friendships, and she talked a lot about different things, but one of the things that she's mentioned that's really stuck out to me is that before COVID, we used to socialize at least 6 hours a week, and since COVID, we have not hit that goal anymore on average. So to me, I was like, that's a really good goal. I think for me personally, I'm really like a data-driven person, and I was like, I'm just gonna start tracking how many hours of socialization I've had a week. So I started doing that in February, which was really good, and I've carried that over into March. And I am happy to say that I have hit 6 hours of socialization per week. So going into it, I hit 14 hours the first week of March. Way too much. I was absolutely depleted. I was exhausted. That was not good. That was too much. 6 hours on week 2, 8 hours week 3, 6 hours on week 4. And by the time I'm filming this, I will also hit 6 hours again. So I am just really happy with that. I found tracking my socialization hours has been really good because A, it forces me to make plans, because that's something that I was really bad at before. I was really bad about being proactive, making plans. And then like 2, it also makes me feel like those moments where I am resting and relaxing, like it's okay. I don't have to be socializing all the time because I've already hit my socialization hours. So I'm really glad that I did that this month. And then 2 is celebrate my 1 year of marriage, which me and my husband did do that. As I already mentioned on this vlog, my husband and I went to the town where we got married and we spent the weekend there just kind of reminiscing of the year that it's been, which has been crazy. So a little staycation. We are actually doing a big celebration this next month. We are doing it on like the 1 year anniversary of our honeymoon, because we took a month between marriage and our honeymoon, and I like doing that because it's a little bit warmer. And we are going to Europe, so I'm really, really excited about that. But we have already celebrated this month, which is really exciting, and I love that for us, and it was such a nice time. Okay, last up is home, and I wanted to install a chandelier, so I've been saving up for this chandelier and this medallion, and I was so excited to get it installed. The current chandelier in my dining room is just not it, and I hate it so much. I saved up enough because I needed enough money for materials and labor, so I saved up in a sinking fund, and as soon as I go to purchase it, it is sold out. And y'all, when this happened, I was destroyed because I loved this chandelier. I looked at like hundreds of chandeliers and I picked this one out and I was so excited, and yeah, it's sold out. So I was going to buy another one instead, but I took a pause, and I'm glad I did, and I will talk about that now in my April goals. So moving now over to April, it's a great segue. So starting back from the top, health and wellness. I actually have not done these yet, so we're gonna kind of do them together. So for health and wellness, I want to keep up the consistent workout routine. I think that was really good, and I want to keep that kind of as is. Same with tracking my sleep. I need to figure out a way to get 7 hours of sleep each night. I have found that 7.5, at least 7.5 to 8.5 is a really good sweet spot for me in terms of like feeling good the next day. So I want to keep working on that, figuring out how I can get the best amount of sleep. All right, and next up is to go ice skating 2 times a week. I read a statistic where going once or twice a week is perfect for a beginner level, which is what I am. I just started ice skating this year, so I want to keep that up. It's perfect because like one of my sessions is like practicing with my coach and like learning new things, and then the other session I like practice. So all right, that's health and wellness. Going into social media, post 2 times a week. I'm not sure if that's going to be my goal, because I think I want to change my strategy a little bit on social media. I went to the South by Southwest conference, which if you don't know what that is, it's essentially a time where like all these creators come together, and it could be on social, it could be movie, it could be production, it could be music, like all these different types of industries comes together for the South by Southwest, and you like just niche down and like talk about everything going on in your industry. So while I was there was a guy who talked about, he had worked 8 years in Instagram and YouTube before he eventually converted over to becoming a content creator full-time. And one thing that he talked about is like really leaning into the trends of like what's new and going on. So obviously, and I don't mean trends like topics, I mean trends as in strategy. So right now, TikTok and short form video is such a big thing, and even though YouTube has always been my first love, I would say that like I haven't really been successful on YouTube. It humbles me to say that because I do love YouTube so much, but it is a platform that kind of punishes you if you are not consistent. And if you look at my history over time, like I'm not always consistent on this platform. There are times where I like take a break, and I feel very punished by YouTube by those times when I've taken a break. So because short form is so predominant right now, I think I'm going to take a shift into going into TikTok land a little bit. Now there are times where I've made content on TikTok and they've done really well. I made wedding planning videos, which was really fun over there, and obviously I got married, and so then I didn't really have consistent content that I was putting up on TikTok. And I've recently decided that I actually think leaning into books, there's a really big book talk community there, would be a really good platform for my creative outlet. So I think I'm going to lower my social media goal to 1 time a week on YouTube, and if I get to, like, that's okay, but that's not my primary. And my primary social media goal is actually going to be putting out at least 3 TikToks a week. That making TikTok videos are actually like super easy, so I feel like it might be a more manageable goal. And yeah, I really like talking about books on there. There's a lot of other people that are talking about books on there, so, and I feel like TikTok's algorithm is just a lot more forgiving than some of the other social media platforms. And so I just wanna put some effort into it, see how it does, and like if I like it, and if I don't like it, like that's okay. I always have YouTube, but yeah, I just want to try it for a little bit. All right, next up is finances. So for this, I want to purchase clothes for France and Italy. So so that's where we're going. For our like anniversary trip, we are going to Lake Como and Nice. I'm so excited. It's gonna be so beautiful. I'm so excited. But the style there is a little bit more elevated. You're not gonna find people wearing sweats out and about in Nice. So I need to purchase more clothes. I also need to help my husband purchase some clothes. We just need a little bit of a wardrobe refresh. It has nothing to even do with vacation, although it does. Obviously we're doing it for vacation, but I feel like people buy outfits just for vacation, but like this is stuff that we need to do, and we're gonna be using vacation as the excuse to do it. All right, relationships. So I do want to keep the 6 hours of socialization a week. I think that might be kind of hard. Let me pull up my calendar. I've also been using my iPad for digital planning, which has been solid. Okay, yeah, so I think it is doable to get 6 hours in of socialization this next month. So I want to keep that goal up. And then I guess this other one will be super easy, but I want to also, ooh, you know what else I need to do? I guess this is more like relationships for myself, with myself, because I need to set up like a graduation plan. I finished Georgetown in December, but they only have one commencement a year, so it's coming up in May, and I have not really put a lot of planning into some sort of like festivity for that, and I need to, because obviously I need to celebrate everything, but also like things in DC get booked up really quickly. So I have like one inquiry out. It's just sort of expensive, but I'm thinking I might do it. I don't know, I need to put more thought into it, so I need to figure out my commencement plan. So that's like a self thing, self relationship with myself. And I guess the last thing would be to go on this anniversary trip. And that's an easy goal, but I'm excited and I'm gonna put it down because it's only once a year. All right, last up is home. And as I was mentioning earlier, I did not get to buy said chandelier because I was too late. Someone else already bought it. But what I've decided to do, I was going to buy a different chandelier, and I stopped myself and I was like, no, I would actually really like to take this money that I've saved up and buy stuff in France. I'm not gonna buy a chandelier in France, but I think a French painting. I've been really wanting a painting over my bed since I repainted it, and I think a French painting would be really beautiful, and like maybe something else that I find over there. I think buying something like that over there is gonna be expensive, especially to get it shipped back. So instead, keeping this money that I've saved, I can always buy a chandelier online. But taking this opportunity while we're traveling to instead buy a French painting. So that's what I want to do for home for this next month, and that wraps up my my April reset. I'm really excited. I am not going to share how many books I've read. I usually talk about that at the end of this video, but I think I'm going to finish 1 or 2 more books before the end of the month because I'm not filming this quite at the end of the month. So I think I'm gonna like leave that for my my March reading wrap up video. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know what your goals are in the month of April. I think it is just such a refreshing time because the weather's changing. It's slowly getting warmer. It just feels like such an exciting time. So I'd love to know what you guys have planned. But that's it. I will talk to you guys in another one. Bye.